That was 1 hour. Jeez. Well, we can expect that with the blue mirror, can't we? What a game, man. So, yeah, that's Joseph closing out game one against Charlie with
It's a long way to go. Going
with
game 2 and
with the
possibly
Halo
game
coup.
3.
Hey, who'd expect Halo coup won that one, man?
Well, yeah, that's right.
We love it. We love it. Now, two very good players here that took out a very good game here that we were treated to watch. I was tell you that was very good to see. So I'm interested to see how this next game's
next
going
game
to
goes.
go and see how Charlie fights back. So we are ready to take our leave here, guys. We have Phil Inns with Mr.
Change in
John
commentary.
Argos and Kevin Nader here that are going to take over from us. So we want to thank you guys for tuning in with myself, Jimmy James, and Adam Simpson.
Thank you very much, guys. It's
And
been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure, and we are passing you over to these two lovely guys.
Enjoy the rest
See
of
ya.
the stream, guys. Bye. All right, guys. It's John Ardross here with Kevin Nader filling in because a few people had to catch a flight they're gonna miss. Pretty exciting stuff for game 1. I think a kind of unexpected matchup in the final we have here between two Deadku decks. But yeah, what do you think, Kevin?
Yeah, definitely. I think it was a very good medical into what people were expecting to be very baby-heavy field. This deck does just kind of run through baby and say, if you're not playing the version which runs the event, the 10x, that can clear my field, I will be able to be very wide board and just keep on swinging into it. You can't really do much about it.
Yeah,
So it definitely makes sense they both made it. It is an interesting matchup in the mirror. It is a very slow grind, as you saw from game 1. It does take a while. But essentially, you just get to this get board state where it's like you're trading resources, and whoever goes in first is probably just going to lose if you don't win that game. You can never play Vegito because you deck out. Like, this whole game is just like a game of chicken for decking out eventually.
Yeah, exactly. Like, the main thing, if you sit on double Vegeta, right, they have to bottom deck both, and even then you just draw into the other one, right? So, yeah, it does turn into this game of, like, yeah, this is a big game of chicken. If you go in first, you know, you can potentially lose the whole thing. That being said, though, there is ways to get advantage depending on your build. I think a big one is that, as you've seen in the previous rounds, both players get an insanely wide board. And the way you can out the board for blues is simply Zeno, right? Put all those cards at the bottom of the deck and you kind of just reset. But that's also part of the reason why these games go for so long, because, you know, it's hard for either side to punish the other player.
And it's very interesting. We don't have the list. We don't even know if they run Zeno. Like, Zeno is a huge card, but a lot of these lists aren't playing Zeno because it's into these matchups. You're like, well, why would I remove my own board? That's my advantage. I don't care about your board. I'm just going to kill you. If you have if you have a big board, I'm just going to swing through it. It's fine. So it is very interesting to see whether these players playing it.
Yeah, I think we did actually have top 16 list. I think it was the other day. I want to say Charlie is not running Zeno from recent memory from looking at it. He was running one Final Hope Slash and one of the Vegeta double strike, or the new one that just bottom decks a 3 or less and draw a card. And yeah, that's one of those ways you can push through, right? The Sharpener enables so much aggro extension. You know, being able to activate Final Hope Slash for free in this deck is quite powerful. And yeah, obviously we're seeing a pretty standard board state. We've got both sides have a Sharpener, and then Charlie has been able to build a Videl. And yeah, obviously no reason to attack with it early. There's no Earthlings to recycle in the drop area. And yeah, grab some snacks, guys. Grab some popcorn, grab some drinks. We're going to be here for a while. This is yeah, very long game ahead of us.
It is very interesting that Charlie did choose to charge one of those peel offs. So that being like a key piece in blue, I feel like it's one of the ones that you just want to recycle infinitely in this matchup. So saying that is these players do love shuffling their hands, so it's very hard to see the full hand at times. But it might have just been, this was the only correct option because everything else is either a super combo or a more important piece.
Okay. Oh, so actually we've got the list here now, and one thing that's a big difference between both of them is that Joseph is running the Great Sandman package, and then Charlie is running, like I was saying, the Vegeta and Final Hope Slash. I think the big trade-off is that, again, technically Charlie can't deck out thanks to the Vegeta card, but you also don't want to be slamming Vegeta early, right? You don't want to be bursting 5 for no reason, because that actually gets you, like, as soon as Vegeta gets cleared, that's 5 cards extra you're going through your deck. But on the flip side, Joseph has an option to just go 20k into lead, 20k to lead, 30 into lead. It's much more much more aggressive and obviously better into green decks. He does also have the 6-cost Vegito. I missed it the first time looking at this, but yeah, it's just the card's so powerful. It enabled this deck to have like a very powerful finisher, and the deck now has amazing early game with the new Videl cards.
Yeah, for sure. That is the. Typically, this hardest matchup would be this green matchup where it's like, oh, blue, I can survive, but you're just gonna ramp and go, okay, Broly, 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 and you're like, oh, that's a bit rough for me as blue, but you just go, yeah, I'm just gonna play 3 Videls on turn 2, and I'm like, I'm just swinging for 20. Green hates taking early life when they don't have to, and you keep on pushing it, and you just don't lose any resources doing it. Being able to swing with the 1-drop, grab that 10, come off a 10k, swing for 15, grab it back with the Videl is very powerful. So I don't see too much of it in this matchup though. It's gonna be definitely more of like a recess grind matchup, just playing out these key pieces, playing the package, playing the girls who love short hair. I can never remember the name of that card. And then just drawing 3, putting one back on top. Just I don't know, being able to do it for free is just seems pretty good.
I think when you play that card, Kevin, it's you love girls with long hair, right? Or but yeah, no, it's like yeah, obviously there isn't really too much going on like outside of like each side's got to play their board, each side's got to remove the board, and it's kind of just this back and forth, and it's kind of like who gasses out first. I will say there is the potential of bricking with Deadku, and when I say like the potential of bricking, right, there's a lot of dead cards in the deck. And if you aren't able to get your early cycles with like girls who like short hair, and you aren't able to get your Videls and peel off, right, there are times where you just look at your hand and you're just like, nothing to do. But again, like, how do you really punish that as a Deadku player? Like, the main thing is, again, you just want to get the late game, swing 40k with Vegito, swing 40k again, and that's how you close out.
Yeah, for sure. It's interesting to see how these players also set up their boards. That you can definitely tell they're not the Dragon Ball players, having their leaders in the middle behind the middle area,
Yeah.
or just off to the side behind the life there.
Hey, we've got Charlie. Charlie set it up more correctly. He's got it like, if he swapped his life around, it'll be in the correct spot. But yeah, you can tell that Joseph is definitely a one-piece player. That's his stage area of the field there, so yeah.
So we might see some poking coming through. You can. This 2-drop is so powerful. Being able to just grab back the events. It doesn't say battle card. It is actually huge, especially into this matchup. It's these events are the key points. Comboing off this infinite loop of peel off. It's just the resources just seem to never end. And it's like the matchup is like you see this and you go, man, this is boring. This is just like them just doing this, whatever. But like they are thinking so much about the correct sequence, what's going to happen on the bonus tally. There's actually a lot of thought that goes into this, which is why it does go on for a while. And you don't really want to make a mistake because you can, if you ever just miscount how much of a threat your opponent is, they can just start going in with these big blue cards as well.
I think one thing I am surprised about is that Charlie just kind of almost feels like he wasted a super combo here, just because the fact it's again, there's only a handful of cards you can't grab back from the drop area with Videl and Peel off, and a super combo is one of them, right? Like, it feels like if he had another Earthling to combo off, like I did see him pan his hand there and see, I think he's got multiple peel offs in hand. Surprised he didn't just combo one off and grab it back on the following turn, but hey, he's got a plan. Obviously, he's in the finals and we're not, so he's got something cooking, right?
That is for sure. So it is interesting to see that this kind of like keep myself unawakened. You do get stronger when you awaken, but it is kind of a weird conundrum where if you awaken first, you get you get to attack essentially for free as your opponent's leader, and you become more powerful. But then at the same time, you don't get to like accept these free hits. So when they start coming in bigger, you're like, well, if I go from 4 to 3, then I'm getting closer to losing, closer to dying. Whereas if you're at 5 and they swing in, they're never going to swing in for a big number. Because if they ever do, you just go, okay, well, this is a free card. I just get to take because you swung in and gave me resources for it. So it's a very interesting proposition of like, where do I sit at? Where am I trying to defend? So kind of defending and not being awakened in this kind of matchup, it does make sense in a way.
I really liked what Joseph did there, using investing, clearing the sharpener as well, because the sharpener is is an extender. Like, obviously we knew the Videl was going to get bottom decked, right, because it can recur that value with the Great Saiyan card. But honestly, opting to choose to clear both, very nice response here with his Gohan. Yeah, but choosing to clear both like that is just nice. You don't have to worry about it here, because obviously if Charlie's Sharpener lived, he would be able to get a free event off here, get to build his field, but instead he's forced just to hardcast Gohan. And obviously, it's probably not going to get cleared straight away unless there's more shenanigans from Joseph's hand, which wouldn't surprise me. I see the peel off there, but yeah, a very smart decision to remove the bottom deck the sharpener, because that's one of the, again, there's like the fusion one's balanced in the sense where it's like every meaningful thing you do costs an energy. Like filtering with the girls who like short care extra card, being able to use that for free versus using that for one is completely different. It lets you kind of just set up these infinite loop situations. There's so much value going on, and the fact just answering it immediately is very important from Joseph. And we can also see here Joseph reestablished reestablished 4 cards in play. He's going to be able to swing with Videl, grab back the Great Sandman, and bottom deck the actual Gohan forecast.
It is an interesting choice that he didn't get to want to swing with the last turn. I assume just not wanting to awaken his opponent while knowing that this is going to get removed no matter what. So maybe I'll just keep you at 5 and don't give you the easy out to then have this card on top of the deck. Make you work for it a little bit more, and maybe there's just a chance you brick if you hit one of these cards that isn't. Saying that, look like from their list, there is a very few targets that are just not gonna let you get on for an effect when you flip the top card of your deck over using one of these effects.
Yeah, 100%. Like, yeah, the big thing too is like once you do get hit by once you do awaken as the Deku deck, you just have perfect filtering, right? You draw 2 every turn, you stack your deck, and there's nothing that's really stopping you to go into the races, right? Like you just have so much consistency, so much filtering. It's kind of like unparalleled. There's no really like other deck quite like it. In Fusion Mode, and here we go. We're forcing Charlie to awaken. And now he's got to be able to kind of, start pulling his own back in this game, right? Like his early turns weren't that impressive, to be honest. And now that he's awakened, he can start getting set up, peel off looping, etc., etc. And another great Sandman. And honestly, Joseph seems like to be insanely controlling this game. Charlie feels very far behind.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely. It can definitely feel like that. Then you watch it, and the board just swings back and forth every second. It's a very weird matchup. It's almost like any control. Like these decks are definitely playing more of a control line, where they would normally just start swinging into a lot of decks and just say, okay, do something about it. But when you're in the mirror, you can do something about it, and so you just can't take the risk where you normally would. So it will be interesting to see how much of this board Charlie can remove in this turn. So not having that Zeno, not even having been at 6, like it is. Charlie's deck can struggle to clear wide boards in response. So you probably have 1 from the event, 2 from the Gohan. Just swings that, but it was very interesting that he let it go. I thought potentially you want to save that and just say, okay, you need 1 more way to enter my board, and it being the most key piece for him right now.
I wouldn't be surprised if Charlie opts to bottom deck both the peel offs here, because that's huge, honestly, right? Like I think in blue mirror matches, you kind of want to make sure you always have a peel off in drop and always have one in your hand, just so you have that infinite loop going on. And right here, Joseph is susceptible to losing 2 of his 4 peel offs. Like they're at the bottom of the deck. You're not going to be getting them till way later in the game, right? And in his drop area, the only real meaningful card to grab back is the Great Saiyaman extra card, right? And what does he choose to do here? He does not choose for double peel off. Interesting. Just sharpener again, yeah. Like I was saying before, you want to get value. The sharpener lets you extend. But if it was me personally, I think I would have chose the double peel off there, just because that's it. He can't recur. It's much harder for him to recur peel off if he's only got 1.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely, and I can see for that exact reason. I can see combo enough to save the video. So if you think about it, like his turn is probably just playing a Gohan, keeping them on the open, bottom decking. If the Fidel's still on the board, okay, cool. He bottom decks Fidel, but then you get to keep like either both, like a peel off or a sharpener, and like guaranteed. So it's a very interesting decision to just let that die. But at the same time, I guess it is cards out of hand. It is very much like a hand resource game at this point. Joseph being unawakened, maybe Charlie is playing the shadow. Maybe I can just starve you out. Like you do kind of just run out of things to do if you don't draw into more resources, and especially not being awakened. You do like these attacks just do nothing unless you give me a card from hand. So it's just more resources gone, and then you don't get that amazing filter that the awakened leader gives you.
Yeah, and here we just see 25 in the lead, and leader just taps a card, gets out of it for free, like no cost there at all. And I will say though, I think a big thing is that Charlie has seen, not seen, he's played 2 of the 4 cost Gohan, right? This is like one of the best card blue has for wide board states, and he just played it here, and like he's lost 1 already. It's kind of interesting because it will eventually get back to the point where he will draw back into these cards, because that's the kind of game we're in for, right? We're gonna be for a while, right? So. Yeah, it'll be interesting how many of these cards that we see multiple copies of, actually hit the board. And yep, here comes the Videl. So this is what I was talking about the last turn, right? Right now, there's only 1 peel off in the drop area here. And, it just feels a bit more awkward now, because if this peel off gets bottom decked, it actually is a lot of recursion that you lose. Like he's got to pay peel off into great same and into bottom decking his Gohan, right? But
Mm.
yeah, honestly, would have really liked to see Charlie get rid of the double peel off, right? Like not, the loop is still kind of live right now.
Mm.
So if he's able to answer this board, honestly, Zeno would be huge here. But we already know he's running Zeno, so. Yeah, I think if he's able to play maybe even a third Gohan, get rid of the peel off, and honestly, I wouldn't even bother to get rid of the Videl. I'd maybe just swing into the Videl, right? Like, because the thing is that the card is only truly gone in the blue matchup once it hits the drop area, right? If it's still in your deck rotation, if it's still in your hand, it's still got to be available to grab it. And yep, I like that swing into that. Get rid of that. That's 2 Videls gone now for Joseph. And honestly, I think if I'm Charlie, I'm feeling kind of confident now. I think very good boards. Oh, that beautiful draw gets rid of that one. Beautiful top there. Yeah. I think I think from Charlie, I'm in a good spot. Obviously, Joseph hasn't awakened yet, but Charlie's been able to bottom deck. The important cards to the bottom deck are the peel offs. The important cards to the KO are the Videls. Like that's another one gone. He's granted he has high rolled a little bit. He's seen 3 of the 4 Gohans, but that's this is what you want to do. He's pressuring really nicely. He's he's playing really well so far. To be fair, both these players are playing amazing, right? They're playing a phenomenal game.
Yeah, 100%. It would be interesting to see what is this extra energy be used for. Like, do you want to establish more resources in hand, or do you want to try and push him down to 3 this turn? You go, okay, you have 5 cards in hand. If I swing 30k, you're definitely taking it. If I can get a second big swing in there, maybe you go down to 3, and then you're in a more of a threatened position for the future game state.
2 girls.
2
girls with short hair. This is the power of this card, man. He's got an. Just imagine if that was free, Perfect fixing. One thing I am surprised about, I'm surprised he didn't return the Videl to hand. I think it's because he doesn't have. If he returned the hand, he would have 8, so he doesn't get his free negation, like free 10k pump with the leader. But yeah, it also doesn't really matter if it gets bottom decked or not, right? It's just it's just a. It's not one of the more important cards in the matchup.
Yeah, I guess you do, because of the Gohan, there is cost reduction in the Hercule, but the Hercule is kind of a dead card outside of that. Maybe Joseph doesn't run it. I actually didn't see it.
Oh no, you play Hercules 4. He's got 100%.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess the idea is that you force you to have Hercule.
Yeah, both of them
swing lead, and then you can play his own Gohan. But other than that, it's like he has to choose between which card he wants to do, or invest a lot of resources to clear both.
Honestly, I think it's just you play. If you're able to grab back cards from your drop, you just great Sam and the Gohan again. It's just like, oops, sorry, just giving. Yeah, sorry guys, giving in the mic here. That's static, but yeah, no, it's like the event card is so powerful because you're bottom decking stuff for 1, right? Bottom decking cards for 1.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it has to be good, right?
Yeah, when everything is fairly started, paying 1 to do anything is kind of insane.
Yeah, paying
or free is even better with Shrapnel.
Paying 1 energy for Sharpener, yeah. Paying 0 energy for cards is busted, right?
Exactly. So we do see, I guess, Charlie play more of a resource grinding game right now. Just saying, not going to let you awaken until you can't remove my board. You are eventually going to run out of resources, hopefully. The deck doesn't run no self-awaken, I assume. So, because there is generally your opponent's going to try and take you down and kill you before you get pushed in yourself. So it is interesting what Joseph does to build these resources back up his hand. He's only on, I think, 5 in hand after he top decks 1 card here, and so he is slowly just whittling down cards in hand. He should be. It's getting closer to him not being able to remove both these cards this turn. If this Gohan does stick, it is huge. It is almost like a go switch for Charlie. Like, okay, his hand has gone to the point where it's actually not that good anymore. I'm now going to just try and push him down and then get him to a point where I can kind of try and win over 2 turns.
Well, look, we're in the Deadku mirror. We know this game's going way longer than 2 turns, man. But
True.
But no, I think Charlie's definitely in a way better board state here, right? He's Joseph chose not to swing with the Gohan because of course Charlie's probably gonna get out of that for free, and then you can just whack into the Gohan. He's not gonna awaken, and yeah, you can feel the difference here of just the awakened side and the unawakened leader. Charlie's been able to see more cards. He's been able to see more girls with short hair. He's been able to combo more. Whereas this turn was kind of lackluster. Like he played the Gohan and bottom deck to what a Videl. That's kind of like nothing, right? Like Charlie literally played the Videl instead of holding onto it just so he'd have 7 cards in hand for a free 10k with his leader. It's like it wasn't really doing much here, and we're going to see him grab another great Saiyaman here. So yeah, this 4-cost Gohan's getting getting bottom decked, and yeah, Charlie's honestly looking really good. He just needs to play. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a sharpener here, or just another searcher. But Yeah. Oh, here we go. This is finally the time. We've got to see Joseph most likely take this hit so we can awaken. And now, yeah, now we're gonna have the battle of eternity, right?
Well, you're at the point where they both get access to all of their resources. Yeah,
Mm.
definitely think you have to take
Oh,
that there as Joseph.
damn.
If you to get that hit out, give him another cut from hand and stay unawakened. You're just in a very rough position as Joseph. So you correctly
I think
taking
that
it down to 4.
Charlie's eating really good here. He's got to play Gohan from the top of his deck. Bottom deck is 2-1 drops, and then he's gonna most likely use the Great Sandman from his hand and get rid of his Gohan here. This is insane board state from Charlie, honestly, because the thing about the Gohan card, right? The thing about Gohan is that it bottom decks 2/3 cost, so and Gohan's a 4 cost, so it is unable to answer itself cleanly. That's what this Hercule card we're talking about before comes in. Both of them, I think both of these players have charged 2 of the Hercule, but like this Gohan is such a sticky card, and now like the Pilaf has been bottom decked, Vidal's been killed. I think this is the more I look at it, I think this is game from like foreseeing the next couple of turns. Charlie's going to be in the driver's seat for the most part.
For sure. Interesting you grabbed back the girls with short hair instead of that other peel off. Might just have another one in hand and go, okay, I don't need this other one right now.
He does have the he does have the 2 cost Vidal. He can potentially go into that as well if he wants the pressure. I think he still has 1 energy. Yeah, and here it is, 30 into leader here. Got to smack him for big numbers. And yeah, he's got yep. So Jeff is going to awaken, can give a 10 and the leader skill, unless he's got infinite cards in hand. He's got a lot. Yes, here's this is the skillless card. Yep, then pumping it by 10. Then 30 into leader again. Let's see, what is he going to do here? It's harder to get out of these attacks. This is Charlie's actually found an opening in this match to just pressure. I think obviously 4 Gohans is huge, right? But like, he's capitalizing.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely, it'd be interesting to see what he does with this last energy card. Could even have seen like a.
I think it's a Vidal here to start lipping some more stuff, right? Yeah,
He does have the 1 drop. Yep. Bounce that, play the 2 drop.
Yeah.
And now he's going to just get back that peel off from in drop. Could even look at swinging it in for another 30 this turn with that peel off board. Just putting that one in drop, having the one in the grabbing one back, and just saying, here's another 30. 30 is such a huge number. It is what the baby deck is built around. It is essentially just become the key number in Fusion Wars. So if you can swing for 30, it just feels so good. And I'm wrong again. It is interesting to see. I've only barely played this deck. I know enough about it, but not going back to peel off is a very interesting decision.
I didn't think. Did he grab back anything?
He grabbed back the girl short hair again.
Okay.
So it does set up your deck more. I guess it was favoring that draw 2, draw 3, put 1 back on top more to set up plays than just the 10k peel off. Like saying, I could probably just grab that back at any time. I know I'm going to eventually get to a way to grab it back, so might as well just grab back things that give me more options instead.
I think you're kind of right. Like again, there's plenty of ways to grab back peel offs. There's plenty of ways to grab back his other resources. So yeah, just drawing more cards is never a bad thing.
Exactly. So we have to see what Joseph can do here to maybe try and mitigate some of this board.
It's kind of hard now. Like again, he does have the peel off in hand, but a big thing about the Great Sandman card, if you have an empty board state, the card doesn't feel as impactful, right? Like the big thing is once you get 3 or 4 cards in play, including the battle card, including the stage, right? You're able to start hitting these larger targets, right?
Yeah, for sure. Especially, so we did see Charlie save the Vidal with the 5k. What's that search has done? It's just a free combo out, and saying that you can remove some of my threats, but the more you put resources into removing this Vidal, the less resources you're going to have to remove these Gohans as well. And realistically, the Gohans are the big threat right now. So we need 30 for free a return. It's just huge. It gets the most resources out of Joseph's hand for Charlie. So I could definitely very good. I could see even this Vidal being defended even more if we do see this skills come down. But it looks like Joseph's hand is looking kind of awkward. Just doesn't really have a way to impact the board. It's a lot of recursion cards, a lot of accessory cards, but he doesn't have that Gohan, he has a Hercule, but not really much to support it from what I can tell.
Yeah, it's without the 4 cost Gohan, it's you're not able to really deal with these wide boards, and without the Great Sandman, you're not able to deal with these larger cards, right? do have the Hercule here, and yeah, just looking at Joseph's hands, I think this is a really good showcase of the difference between the two versions. So like Charlie has opted, oh, very nice, he's there, he's got it. Yeah, Charlie has opted to go for this more standard list. It's got some nice top end, not really focusing on the vanilla, not focusing on this aggro engine, right? Whereas Joseph here, he's got so many of these cards with no skills, right? I get it, it's part of the engine, but at the same time, like the cards just have no effects. They don't really, outside of just being an attacker and Senkai combo, they're not doing anything. Whereas we have this Gohan now, and finally he's able to pressure back into the board. I think, yeah,
Just
interesting.
decided what deck here.
Looks
The
like
sign between the Videl, I guess, and the Sharpener. It is an interesting decision. I guess the Sharpener does enable more players, but the Videl was. It probably do just to see the swing into the Videl here from the Gohan. And just saying, if you save that, I can just play another Gohan and get rid of it anyway. So are you really going to give me resources for it?
I think he's willing to, right? The card is kind of too good. Yep, there's another super combo, very nice.
I guess this super combos are like, it's funny, they're sort of irrelevant in this matchup in the sense that like you're never gonna just get dumped on. You don't really just save them. You just use them. It's more of like a game of attrition instead.
And here we go. Here's the aggro package. He's able to play the Videl and the Great Saiyaman from the drop area. And now this is kind of like highlighting the utility of this, right? He's able to swing into this, pressure this Videl twice with a 30k. And honestly, yeah, again, we're saying, but I know I just said it 2 seconds ago. That's like all this card is a 30k, but hey, it's doing work in here. It's asking, it's a super combo check, right?
Yeah, 100%. And we did just see the other super combo before, so
Yeah, again, like I think Charlie wishes he didn't combo his super combo in the early turns, but now it's kind of biting him a little bit here, and
and just like that, the board to switch again. It's actually insane how much work this deck can put into just being able to just like flip the game state. In my mind, I'm like, nah, Joseph's probably going towards losing this one. It doesn't look very good. He can't do that much. And it's like, no, you got one Gohan on top. You got some plays. You got some outs, and it's like, well, Charlie does still have that 1-4 drop, but like looking at this board, it's like you can't have to just go back to controlling the board instead of like looking into this pressure.
I think a big thing too, like this is part of just like how fusion mode works, right? A lot of it is just push and pull. Like again, there's not really too much you can do on your opponent's turn, unless you're playing like yellow Vegeta or these dedicated control decks, right? But oh, that was very smart from Joseph. He tapped the active mode Videl to account for his leader skill. Very nice, punishing that small swing there. But yeah, the point I was going to make is that there's not really too much you can do on your opponent's turn, right? And nice, yep. This is how you can tell these players are good. Is cheeky swing into the Hercule before he bounces that card back to hand. But yeah, there's not much you can do on your opponent's turn, so you kind of just like, even though it looks like your board state is insane, right? It just flips back around instantly in this matchup because you can't just take in turns clearing each other's boards. One huge thing about Charlie, though, he has played all 4 of his Gohans. He's not going to be able to see a double removal, so now he's kind of forced to use the Great Saiyaman extra card as removal. And in this spot where you have 3 4-cost bodies you have to remove, you have to make sure you recur all 3 of them. He does have the he does have the 4 cards out, but is he able to cast 3 of them to remove all 3? I don't think so. We'll have to see here. Definitely, he's got a bottom deck to go on here. There's 1. Can he get 2 more? I can see, yep. Sharpener again, reveal again, yep. Videl here looks like.
Well, going down to 3 cards in hand though for Charlie. After this bounce, he will go back up to a 4 again from this swing. Probably, actually, he will just go back to that same man and then just essentially recur and do it again. So, interesting. Do you swing lead here or do you?
No, he swings a battle card here. You guarantee you get a card out of hand, right? Oh, going for girls with short hair. Yeah, that's true. He's got the Great Saiyaman on the top of the deck. He's got to draw into it. So, one of these cards will be sticking on the board. And there is another Gohan 30k swing. I think you combo out on this Videl swing just because it's 1 card less and you just let it die to the Gohan swing afterwards. Just because instead of having to use a 30k combo out of hand, you just get to use a smaller combo amount. He just chose to let it go. There's the girls with the short hair drawing 3 cards. Yeah, this deck is just crazy. This deck is probably this deck actually feels like watching Solitaire, not gonna lie.
It's like, I do my thing, you do your thing, and we just keep on going until one person can't do that thing anymore.
What's the red?
Because you're blue, you always get to do your thing.
Where the red players at? Just board wipe. Let's go.
Where's my 6-drop Goku gang?
You just slide that in. Yeah, I'm not playing Vegeta Secret. I'm playing UI. Just clear this board here. Yep, and there it is. That's the power of his deck. 3 4-cost bodies were out on the board, and Charlie was able to clear all 3 of them. Granted, he did kill 1 via battle, but the fact that he was able to just clear 2 with the spell, It's pretty cool. It's like, he could have played Sinister Stickle, but no, he decided to do all that extra work to clear. But no, obviously, it's like, it's way more efficient this way, right? You're able to use these cards for 1 less, there's more utility, and 2 life. Now, this is got to be very interesting here, because one of the biggest difference about both of these guys' lists is that Charlie is playing a double striker. This is now officially kill range for Charlie. And the thing is that he's been fanning it around a little bit. I'm not sure if you saw it, Kevin, but I've seen in his hand here, he's had the double striker in his hand from turn 1.
So yeah, very smart. Play towards this win con of just, I get you to 2, I build up my resources on this board. You can have all the cards in your hand if you want, but you're going to have to, now that you're at 2, you have to respect this and go, okay,
And
I now have to collect everything on board. I cannot
Yeah.
afford to leave any combo power, because you could just go, yeah, you've got 5 in hand. Let me check how many super combos I used. Yeah, let me do some quick math. Yeah, that's probably good enough.
Yeah, Joseph has not used 2 of his super combo, hasn't used a single super combo. Charlie's used 2, but again, he's playing Final Hope Slash, right? It's like this cool little aggressive tech. I think it's smart running these 2 cards because it helps the deck close out games here. And I think it's going to be really up to Joseph here to kind of sniff that out, right? I think obviously they know each other's lists. We saw them talking before the final as well, so I think they're both good mates. And so obviously I think that they know the differences in their decks, right? So it's going to be interesting to see what Joseph is going to do. But Charlie just, complete control of this game. This is like, honestly, we're seeing the back and forth.
This is the final call for any premium Bando products.
The announcement's so loud. It's kind of scared me, jump scared. No, I think I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot my train of thought, Kev.
But yeah, we still need to come into the battle. Essentially, going, there's no point swinging to leader here. As Joseph, if you give Charlie more cards on hand and he has the double strike, it's just more fuel to just potentially just swing back and kill it, swing into and kill you next turn. So I think we're in a little bit of a damage control phase for Joseph. Just get rid of this board, stem the bleeding, and then just try and slowly get ourselves back into this game. So Charlie is definitely lower on resources. They're all on the board. They definitely can be recurred. But if you could find a way to board wipe this turn, Charlie is down to 4 cards in hand. And if they aren't ways to draw more, like actually actively use your deck's power, it can actually slowly bring Joseph back into this game. But he is definitely in the defensive position. Charlie is definitely in the winning position, and we'll have to just see whether or not he can close it out over these next few turns, hopefully. In before like 6 more turns.
Yeah. I remember my point now. We're back.
Okay.
Now, the point I was going to make is that I think a big thing about the previous game, it went on for a long time, right? And that's because both these players were going back, but no one really was able to snowball a lead in that game because that game was very tight, right? But I think this game, Charlie has gotten himself into a position where his double striker's got to get in there, It's like you can clear the board a little bit with it, like a bottom deck's 1 card, so that again the double striker's coming out. Technically, it's 45k combo, maybe even 55 because you bottom deck the card and draw a card, right? And then you just all in, Final Hope Slash, wrap it up, call it a day.
Cards in hand, worst case scenario, 4 super combos. Yeah, I've still got enough. I always go game 3.
Game 3, yeah. No, I can believe it. You can map it out, like, if you're able to count 7 cards in hand, 4 super combos, that's only a measly, 130k? Blue can smash those numbers with Final Hope Slash.
That's nothing.
Man, just if this was green though, man, 130k walk in a park, bro. Yeah, he's doing a super combo check, and Jess is gonna say, none. None.
And Charlie's like, maybe I'll just play it another turn. We can take this slow.
Well, yeah, it's still Joseph's turn here. He's just trying to re-establish the board. He's playing his field.
Joseph can definitely punish some of Charlie's hand size with these swings, though. Like, if you swing 30 into 30, you have 4 cards in hand. Are you really going to give one of those up to then save this 30?
Honestly, I think you just eat these hits. If I'm...
Huge.
I think it's actually not that good. I would have rathered a 3-cost Gohan here, because for me, I think if you're Charlie, you just let this Gohan die. You don't really care about it, right?
That's true. So you do swing the 30 and the 30, and then you say, well, if you swing 30 and 30, I give you a card that is like a 5k, that's fine. Because then you're taking 10k off their board with this next swing. So it actually works out. If you're going for game next turn, that is.
Yeah, if we're hacking Charlie's brain now. He's like, yeah, I'm going to win next turn, man. I'm him,
Yep.
I'm going to win next turn. It's like, yeah, just swing my card, whatever, it's all right. But you do the math here. There's 30 combo power on board, 5 or 6 in hand. Oh, there's so many super combos in that hand, man. There's 3. Now, look, for me, we just send it, No.
And that's why we're here.
That's why we're here. We send
Not
it to
there.
the commentator's booth. But
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
It is interesting. I think you could have given the Hercule potentially to say that if you want to go for game, you go, okay, even if you pay one to then remove it, I think you're still in a good enough position to then just send it. But saying that, it is very much like an all or nothing of you. You start giving some of your free resources out, like even the double strike.
okay.
It is good, just good removal
think
here
it'll be-
potentially.
I think the big thing I'm curious to see is if Charlie just swings into lead and see if Joseph just takes it.
There was always debate of like, why swing lead? If you think I'm going to double strike you, you're just going to go to one so you get that extra card. But then I don't have to double strike you. Double striking is oddly enough the most inefficient way to win a game. A lot of the time, like you would rather just give them the card if you can produce enough attacks and you're not going to lose the game anyway. Because then every turn after that, that swing into lead from your leader just demands a card. And so essentially, if your opponent's on one, it's just you don't care that you're double striker. You gave them an extra card, but it's like, yeah, over the next 2 turns, they're going to lose cards every turn just to defend from all these attacks.
You know how cooked this game is? I think we're back to the Gohans that were getting bottom decked at the start of this game.
Did Charlie just draw into a Gohan?
He just flipped one out. Either I can't count, or Charlie's playing 5, or we're back to the bottom of his deck. It's one of those. It's one of those. But I'm willing to say I'm going to go for the option that we're back to the bottom of his deck.
That is crazy.
The deck's just
Yeah, definitely see why Vegito's not playing this matchup. It works against what you're trying to do, really. Like milling those 5 cards is huge because you can kind of get like once you know where you are in your cycle, you if you're at the good level, these guys like you just remember, yeah, okay, the next 6 cards are these, and you just know exactly what you're going to draw into most of the time. So I think Vegito not being played makes sense.
I think it's good to obviously if you're going to like for the Hail Mary push, right? I'm not even the Hail Mary push, just trying to push for game. I think it's fine. But yeah, this is interesting here. Another sharpener, another stack. I don't think we're going to see the double striker come out here. I think it is a bit too risky. I can see this bit more back and forth going. Again, it's like it's interesting. You just see Joseph spitting out 3 bodies a turn, and then Charlie can either respond to clear it or do what he's doing now, grabbing back some more resources, right? That's sharpener. Yep, final hope slash. I think we're going to see. I'm not going to lie. I think we're going to see just Hercule swing and final hope slash the peel off back to hand.
Yeah, I can see it. Just there's some free pressure into the leader. Get some more resources going. Because if you think about it, you kind of want Joseph to swing into your leader. If you can keep everything active and Joseph goes, well, I guess I'll go to start killing you. I'm going to poke into your leader. Charlie just then amasses a hand, and then any cards after that are essentially like trading combo for combo. You can then just go for game the turn after, so you can almost bait. Charlie can sort of bait Joseph into swinging into his leader at this point.
I actually really like what he just did there. I think that was really smart.
Swinging with PLF and bouncing back the video back to your hand.
Yeah, because
Playing it again.
now you can literally do this exact same combo again. He gets to play Videl.
Bastard.
Yeah, play Videl. It's actually like Videl just joins the infinite loop, right? He gets to play it for 1 now, right? He gets to add this Videl back, swing, grab this final hope slash, and bounce this peel off. This is like that's actually a crazy play.
And the whole time, Joseph just losing cards out of hand.
This deck's kind of nasty, man. This deck's kind of nasty.
My brain hurts trying to think through all these lines.
Yeah, but no, this is
Where's
like,
my baby gameplay? I just slam
Yeah,
black cards
there's a
and go,
chain,
please,
there's a chain.
please lose. I'm trying to win here.
Yeah, I think yeah, that was like really good showcase of like the utility of final hope slash. It hits two costs as well. Like even like if you really wanted to, you can use this Hercule, reduce one of these cards by 2, and final hope slash it back to hand. That is a good source of removal, right? Anyway, swing into the Gohan, getting final hope slash. We've got to see it bounce peel off back to hand. Yep, there it is. And then yeah, 40 into 30, sorry. And it's like, again, it's like we're talking about this board state. It's like, oh yeah, Charlie's just got to kind of pressure, get into a spot where his double strike and he just send it with final hope slash and peel off. And this is a great way to do it. There's no like clearing the board, clearing this 30k Gohan beat stick, which is like your answer to kind of like these threats that Charlie's presenting. It's yeah, he has to let it go because like again, every card you invest defending there, this is one less card you have to defend your leader, right?
Yeah, 100%. We do see Charlie pick up to 7 or 8 cards in hand as well. That's insane. Starting with 4, and just the amount of draw this deck has is like, it's just insane. Like I think this, as long as like boring people may think this is, it's actually one of the most skill intensive fusional matches I've seen in a long time.
I think this is definitely the most skill intensive deck in Fusion World. I don't think there's anything that comes remotely close to it. There's a lot of things you have to keep track of. There's a lot of ways you can just fumble the game and just lose, right? Like you have to know what your deck is capable of doing, right? And you have to also know all the lines. Yep, here it is. Again, like you just see Pilaf into Videl, into into Pilaf, into girls with short hair, into I've been cards. It's just like
So yeah, if Dreyfus can't clear these 1-drops here, I can see definitely Charlie just going, all right, it's time. We're going in, double strike. You have 6 cards in hand. It's time to do it. But yeah, it is rough. We do see some resource. We do see Ava Dell in Joseph's hand, which is always a good sign. He doesn't need to. It does. It is the premium card in this deck. Just being able to recur those resources is huge right now. So we'll have to see what he can do. Doesn't look like he has any Gohans in his hand at the moment. Does have the SCR. I think the SCR just. It's never good enough in this matchup for sure. It's very rough position. Maybe just holding on to it, saying, I'm going to have to win the game potentially from 3 at some point. Maybe bait to go in, survive, and then just finish the game with Vegito. It is interesting to see that he hasn't charged it. So he does have a plan for that card eventually. We'll have to see if he can get to that point.
Here we have another Videl coming out. Yeah, it's the gameplay loop. Videl for 1, grab back peel off, grab back the goods. Honestly, I don't actually recall if there's any peel offs in Charlie's drop. I don't. No, there's the one, yeah. Because only one got bottom decked before.
From Joseph drop, yes, we do actually see that, like, that huge decision. Like, it's still impacting him. It's like the fact that he's allowed Joseph to still have this 1 peel off just means he gets all these resources back every time. And so, like, it's these little decisions that just add up over time where it's like, well, 6 turns ago I decided not to give, like, bottom deck this peel off, and now it's just still coming back to bite me all this time later.
Yeah, I think I think that was circling back to that. I think that was like a huge opportunity to clear that infinite cycle, right? Because even from set 1, a lot of people were saying this will eventually become a problem. Like peel off, grab and peel off is just not not very not very fair, right?
Yeah.
I don't know a better word for it, right?
Yeah,
It's just unfair, right?
It definitely is some form of gameplay where you can just go infinite. Like blue already is a control color where you kind of just want to keep your opponent's board clear, and it's like, well, normally you do that by running out of resources yourself, but you go, hey, peel off's a cool card, bro. I'm just gonna not do that part.
Like again, yeah. Now it's like Joseph was able to use his peel off to grab one back, and now he's able to use Fidel grab girls with short hair. If both those peel offs were gone before, he didn't have this option to. He's comboing the peel off. Yep, perfect gameplay. You combo, play peel off, grab peel off, combo peel off. You got the option there. Girls with short hair here, sharpener. Yep, you get to do it for free. Keep that in mind, for free. Yeah, it's just insane how powerful this deck is, right? Let's see. And even though Joseph's on 3 life, I think he's feeling pretty comfortable. He's almost tempting. I feel like
Baden, Charlie, just do it. Just
oh, that is a nasty 3 cards he drew. That was like all 10Ks there, and 2 10Ks and a searcher, and more importantly, his final peel off, right?
The infinite loop is almost here. It has been achieved.
The infinite loop, the infinite, deck cycle as well.
Damn, I'm glad I didn't verse this deck yesterday. I would have gone depressed.
I did win. I did verse it once yesterday. I was able to win, but I think it's safe to say my opponent wasn't as talented as these 2 players here. So
That's fair. Definitely, yeah. It's one of those decks where the more effort you put in, the more you try. It definitely rewards that for sure.
I will say, I think this is the correct, really good medical, because this deck is insanely powerful. But you're looking at all these wide boards, right? The only color that really has access to wide board removal is red, and yeah, it will be interesting to see after this event if red becomes a bit more popular to kind of counter this deck and form a bit of a triangle, right? Even green might start playing more of the 7-cost Gohan Seeker from set 1, because it's simply just you see these 20 cards even play, goodbye.
Yeah, for sure, especially with the way they just leave them on the board against green as well. You're just like, yeah,
Yeah,
that's a nice board you got there.
honestly, I could see Dread plays running that as a 1 over 12 if this gets more popular. It's not even that bad against the other matchups anyway. Against red, it kills everything besides the secret, right?
Yeah, the baby just gets to clear the whole board as well.
And damn, I looked at you for 2 seconds. Can I look back?
It's just the board is. It's actually insane. Every time I'm like, yeah, no, it's done. This is the unbreakable board, and I'm like, no, it's still getting broken. This is crazy.
Play 1, yep. Spawn my bodies just like that.
Yeah, they should probably introduce limit to this game.
Honestly, I know I've said it a little bit now, but this is kind of the times where I feel like I don't think either of these players are playing Zeno, and I understand the logic of not running Zeno in this deck, because one, it hits consistency from you flip the card, you flip Zeno, you get that, right? But and also you don't want to, if you do have the field out in play, you don't really want to bottom deck your own field, right? So I get it, but it feels like you almost have to an extent.
Yeah,
There's pros and cons to it,
oddly
right?
enough, it seems correct in the mirror. Like you could just run 1 or 2 for just essentially the mirror, where you're in the state of you're just trading board, and you go, okay, you've got this full board. I'm gonna Zeno. I'm gonna play out some more value, and it's like, okay,
Yeah, like
go for it. Now you've got access to none of these resources, and I didn't have to work as hard as you did essentially to do it. Like one card answer is always good.
Mm. I do completely agree for that. It's interesting. It's interesting to see how it shapes up. 'Cause, obviously, like again, like there is merit to run the Zeno. There's merit not to run it, right?
Mm.
I think a deck like Vegeta could see like potential work in the mirror because you're hitting 15 like Zeno and then Leader Swing sounds pretty good for
Yeah, for
Vegeta,
sure.
right? But then again, Vegeta's nowhere near as fun as watching. Like I'm not gonna lie, well, playing Vegeta is like yeah, you just do the same thing every turn.
Mm.
Halo coup though, Dead coup, whatever you want to call it, man. Oh man, it feels so good to play. Actually, I played it at I played it on locals this week actually on Thursday I think. Lost the droids players, got sad, but hey, it's all right.
Hey man, that hurts my brain.
It's cool. It's really cool.
It is
Yeah,
really cool.
I think
I can appreciate when I'm watching someone do, I'm like, oh, this makes sense. And then I have the 7 cards in my hand. I'm like, I have too many options. I'm gonna make a mistake immediately, and I do. And so I'm like, I respect people who play the deck because I can't. So we do just see the pass here. Look all these resources, man. This is the tastiest Zeno of my life. Just Joseph saying, okay, go for double strike for game. If that's your only option, I don't think you're beating me right now.
honestly,
Good luck.
I kind of agree. I feel like the double strike option. Um, I feel like the double strike would have been good like a couple of turns ago. Now it feels kind of sad
Mm.
because now it's like this board's just so wide, man. It's like even though you play the double striker, it's like there's still so many cards in play to deal with.
We do see the swing into leader here, so it is more just potentially, okay, please combo card off board. I need you to do some of my job for me.
Even he can just use his leader to switch one of his cards to the field the rest mode, right? Like I feel like leader swing's not too efficient here, but yeah, I don't know. I feel I understand why Charlie didn't try to go insane into leader swing. Oh, sorry, not insane to leader swing. I understand why he didn't opt to go for the double strike play a couple of turns ago, but it feels like he was in the spot to pressure for game, and as long as like if you're scared of like punting the game like that, right? I think that you can just do it to an extent of like not fully committing, but just committing enough where it's like if you don't vomit a lot of cards here, the game is done. And I feel like he's kind of missed his opportunity here, right? Like I get it, we're back to these Gohans, we were getting bottom deck at the start of the game, but now it's just like finding this window to actually push for game is so hard now. It's like even these Pilafs that we're talking about getting bottom deck before, they're back. We're like
Yeah, exactly.
we're at the point where both these guys have drawn through your deck. Like, you know,
So
you,
we're playing a fresh game at 4 and 2 live.
Yeah,
Essentially,
yeah.
as they are. We're back to all of our resources again.
yeah, it feels like, yeah, this is the bit where it's like, I don't
I
think.
understand why game 1 went on so long now because they just cycle through the deck. It's almost like RP Law from One Piece. You're just like, yeah, I know I'm going to see it eventually. I'm just going to plan it out.
Yeah, but I think a good comparison is to that RP Law matchup in One Piece, right? The big difference is that for Dragon Ball, your leaders generate card draw, right? The fact your leader says, I draw 2, both these leaders say, I draw 2 cards. I put this one card I can either free or play for 2 from the top of my deck on there, or just like, you know, more combo setup, whatever, right? And then you also have another card that says, I draw 3 cards. Like, yeah, you will get back to these cards here, right? We're going to see the top 5 here, and then we're going to see like multiple of these Gohans like a bottom deck before. And there is a Vegito card as well. Actually, a Vegito Secret Rare is there. And yeah, you can literally see there's only 6 cards left in Charlie's deck. I feel like this opportunity to actually go for game. I think the window is honestly kind of starting to close. He's running out of resources. And I think, I think it would have been wiser if he tried to find an opportunity to go in with the double striker when he had the chance, like when Joseph had an empty board state, right? Like I think there was a real opportunity there to say like, you know, let's go for it. But
Yeah, show me some cards at least. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, make it a move, but then it goes to the bottom of your deck and you draw it again later. Like it is essentially, it's not getting hard removed. Even if it is, you just save it because it's a 35k base. It's not like it's wasting resources on Joseph side to transferring into it.
here is the Vegeta now. I think he's starting to feel the pressure. I think we're gonna see a swing here. We're gonna see it.
Yep. I think this is the one. Removed as much of the resources of Joseph's board as he could for free.
Yeah, and he does still have a free Final Hope Slash, so we're just gonna see him generate as many cards as he can here. Does he have another card to search or draw anything? He's paying 1 more. He's spread his drop. He's going to play his 4th and final peel off here, and we're about to see a fat dump.
This is a huge dump.
This is gonna.
I can't even do the math quick. There's too many cards on the field.
This
for me
is
to-
what Charlie.
I'm gonna
needed.
guess 150. I don't even know.
All counts. So we've got 35. So that's 50. Oh, okay, they're doing it too fast for me, man.
That's 45, 95, 145, 165, 185 maybe?
185. We can hear it. He said it.
Yeah,
He declared out loud.
185 can double.
And I think,
Damn, that's a big number from like nothing.
and this is what we were saying before. He has to say we're going in. You know, this was like correct. 3 super combos. 3 super combos is not. Oh, I thought it was super combos, but no, it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, 3
Yeah.
supers here.
So
So
that's
that brings him up
80,
to. That's 110.
110.
Whoa!
Oh,
What a